Ooh, that looks nice. Alright, I can hear myself. Good, okay. And a quick doing that. And yeah. Looking all good, looking all good.
You don't want to head out near...
I'm gonna start a new game. This starts fun. So I'm gonna play through this. Cause yeah. Just end of October, the next one comes out, and I loved this game. This game was so fun. Southwest United States, 1911. Hate y'all already. Most of them know what they did, but I already kinda like them anyway.
For one, am grateful, Mrs. Bush, that they are finally bringing civilization to this savage land.
I could not agree with you more, my dear. My daddy settled this land, and I know he'll be looking down on us, pleased at how we help the natives.
Yes, they've lost their land, but they've gained access to heaven.
But they're still looking at it.
But Father, do you mean unless an innocent receives communion, they're destined to go to hell? It hardly seems fair.
What I mean to say, Jenny, is that there is a great deal of difference between an innocent and a savage.
I never thought of it that way.
Yes, they lived like animals, but they're happier now.
Doubtful.
Not only do people now have motor cars, Father, but I heard that pretty soon we will be able to fly.
No, only
Right.
angels can fly, Jenny.
No, apparently people can fly. Didn't you hear? Out in Kansas, a man even got a car to fly.
I hardly think so, Jenny.
Maybe you're right.
Apparently, Mr. Johns wants to run for governor, which is why he's so concerned with cleaning up the state.
Nate Johns.
Yes.
His family is nothing but hillbilly trash that came here after the war.
That's rude.
I don't want to be judgmental, but this
But you are.
state should not be ruled by such a disgusting family. A family without class.
Apparently. The Johns family have made a lot of money, and he has a lot of friends in politics.
Mrs. Bush, money isn't everything. There are many things that money cannot buy.
It seems that money can buy voters, though.
What you must remember, my dear, is that we have been brought here to spread the word. And the word and civilization, they are the same thing. They are the gifts. It is the opportunity we have, the chance to live among people who are decent and who do not kill each other. And who let you worship in peace.
It's so confusing, Father. Sometimes I find it impossible to make the distinction between a loving act and a hateful one. I mean, they often seem to be the same thing.
Yes, Jenny, it is confusing. But you only have to ask me if you need help.
Indeed.
Well, here we are, Mrs. Bush. Armadillo. Hello.
I don't feel too good.
All of our stables are going to be dark this room.
Mr. Marston, over here!
Yeah, boy.
You must be John Marston.
Sometimes.
I am.
I'm Jake. Your friends from Blackwater hired me to guide you.
They ain't my friends, but pleased to meet you, Jake.
I got the horses saddled up and ready out front. Well, here, let's mount up and hit the trail. I'm gonna have to excuse myself. Goodbye. Take care. Take it slow on the way out of town. No need to kick up a lot of dust. Whoa now.
Let's go.
Let's try and move.
So it's Fort Mercy you want to visit?
That's right.
Ain't taking nobody up to the fort in a long time. Strange place for a decent fella to want to visit, if you don't mind me saying.
Who said I was a decent fella?
It's been abandoned for years now. Folks say it was built during the Mexican War. What kinds of soldiers around back then?
Why'd they leave?
Well, I ain't entirely sure. I heard they had to go up north to fight Indians, or maybe they got tired of being soldiers and went looking for gold. You know how things is.
I
So what are you
suppose.
doing up at the fort?
I'm looking for an old friend.
Well, like I says, you ain't gonna find many folk around those parts these days. Those you do find are about as sociable as an old serrated back tooth. I mean, I ain't one to judge a man by the company he keeps, but...
Well, he ain't been friends for a long time.
This game's so pretty in this game.
Are you planning on spending any time in Armadillo, Mr. Marston?
I doubt it. I ain't planning on staying very long.
Well, if you're fixing for some female company, you can do a lot worse than Armadillo. Fine as cream gravy they are. Not like Thieves Landing. Dang, those girls ain't even fit for a drinking man to hole up with.
I'm a married man, I'm afraid.
Ain't we all?
Marston actually is a married man.
Gio. Yeah, so it was the marshal who hired me. Lee Johnson, do you know him?
I think I heard his name.
Says he got a telegram from some Blackwater big bugs asking for a guide. I guess it's none of my business.
That's right.
Gio. You ain't very talkative, are you?
Nope.
I'm just chewing the dog, mister. It's how I am. I don't mean nothing by it.
Trust me. There's things you better off not knowing.
Damn coyotes. What a waste of good meat. Not far now. You'll see the fort when you get to the top of this hill. Whoa there. Listen, mister. This here is what's left of Fort Mercer. Some gang rode in and took the place over.
So I understand.
This is where we part ways, friend. You have yourself a good time.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Bill, I've come for you. Bill Williamson! Come out here right now!
Go away now, John. Don't make me kill you.
Nobody needs to kill anyone, Bill.
You must think I was born yesterday. You always did think I was an idiot.
That ain't
like
fair,
you are.
Bill. You were as my brother. I've come to try to save you.
Oh. Do I look like I need saving?
Maybe.
Bill, please. They want to kill us all. I can help you.
Well, you never tried to save me before. You only seemed to save yourself.
Bill, I implore you think about this.
You implore me? You implore me?
Yeah.
You always were one for fancy words.
Yeah. They're nice.
Well, things are different now, John. Now I'm in charge! No more Dutch! And no more you. Implores. I implores you to go back and tell them to send someone just a little bit more impressive next time.
Well,
Oh,
What do you think was gonna happen?
poor Jim.
New friends. Old problems.
Well, you're alive.
It's something.
So it would seem.
So, how do you feel?
I don't know the polite word for it.
I do. Stupid is the word we use around here. What were you doing?
It was. Being stupid.
I was doing something stupid.
Well, you'll be okay. Once you didn't die, the doctor said you'd be fine. He got the bullets out a couple days ago.
Good.
It cost us $15.
I'm sorry, madam. Should have left me there to die.
Did you want to die? I mean, was that it? Was that why you went straight out to Fort Mercer and picked a fight with the worst bandit in the county? To die, Mr.
Mr. Marston. John Marston.
Bonnie McFarland. Miss Bonnie McFarland.
Well, you may be right, Miss McFarland. I don't know.
So what were you doing?
Trying to give Mr. Williamson a chance. For old time's sake.
You know Bill Williamson?
Knew him. Long time ago.
Well, what was he like?
Dumb.
Just like you.
Thank you, miss. You see my hat?
I have. And, what will you do now?
Now I'm gonna take my time and go after him the less kind way.
Well, that sounds very fun, Mr. Marston. Quite heroic, just like in those penny dreadfuls my brother used to read. Meanwhile, if you'll excuse me, I've got a ranch to run. Of course, if you're feeling better, why not take a ride with me later and help me patrol the perimeter? You can earn back some of that money we wasted on doctor's bills.
Of course. And thank you for saving my life, I mean.
Next time, Mr. Marston, I strongly recommend you don't try to lose it quite so earnestly.
I'll bear that in mind.
Closer to the borders of town. I didn't know that.
Well, hello.
Hey there.
Mr. Marston, back in the land of the living, I see.
Figured it's about time I started paying back that $15.
Well, no time to waste. The horses are saddled up over here.
My apologies. But you ran into me. That was your fault.
There's the foreman's office. It's also where we lock up good-for-nothing outlaws, such as yourself.
I'm happy enough with my current quarters right now, Miss McFarland.
Okay, let's see if you can still ride a horse. Come on, then. I'll show you around the property.
I guess this mechanic would be a whole day to like ride next to somebody. It'd be annoying if they didn't have that. It'd be awful.
To your right is the general store. You won't find Parisian high fashion, but it's good for the essentials.
Very convenient. I don't think I've ever seen a ranch with its own store before.
That's very fancy.
And here's the corral. This one's for the horses. What do you think?
I'm no expert, but it certainly looks like a fine corral.
I suspect you've stolen more horses than you've broken.
Now, where'd you get such an idea?
First impressions are hard to erase. That's the train station. Things sure have changed since the line finally got finished, bringing in all sorts of new folk like yourself.
Is that such a bad thing?
Change is only good when it makes things better.
True.
And here we are, back at the house. Let's stop for a while before we head out on patrol.
You'll get no complaints from me, Miss McFarland.
Come on, this is the only chance you're gonna get to rest. How about a cold drink, Mr. Marston?
Thank you, ma'am. Getting shot, then riding a horse seems to take it out of you. I could use a rest.
Sure. Come on in. I'll show you the house, and then you can sit for a while.
Thank you.
She is so nice.
Mr. Marston,
Miss McFarland.
remember me telling you about the trouble we've been having with rustlers and other undesirables?
I do.
Will you help me keep watch on the property line this evening?
Sure.
I want to see just who is trespassing on our land.
This is a fine weapon.
Come, let's head out. The country is really beautiful at around this time. We'd best get moving. This is a dangerous time of night for us. Right, follow me. Keep your eyes peeled for anything suspicious. Thank you, Mr. Marston. I feel a lot happier someone's along with me.
I feel a lot happier now I got a rifle.
Well, with your trigger itch and my feminine intuition, we should make quite a team. Look, those damn rabbits are at the crops again. Get down and give me a hand, will you? Let's see that rifle. I want a couple of these for the pot. Nice shooting. You got one. That's it. Kill those little varmints. Better at shooting rabbits than outlaws, I see. Thank you, Mr. Marston. Looks like we'll be having rabbit stew tomorrow. Mount back up. Let's check out the rest of the ranch. Let's get going. We've still got plenty of ground to cover. If it's not the rustlers stealing our cattle, it's the rabbits stealing our crops.
It ain't never easy living off the land like this. Maybe you should move to a big city. Become a lady of leisure.
Target? Didn't know that target before. Oh, they were back here though, so.
Was that a coyote? Get those pests before they scare the livestock. Good shooting, Mr. Marston. Hurry, I bet they're going straight for the chicken coop. Come on, boys.
Sorry about that, old friend.
Nice shot. Easy now. That was some impressive shooting. We didn't even lose any chicken. Well, that's enough fun for one night. Let's head back. Come on, I'll show you the way to your room.
Come on.
You know, you can actually handle a rifle.
It's something I've had a little experience in.
Maybe Bill Williamson did get lucky after all.
Luck didn't really come into it, miss.
You're a useful man to have around the ranch, that's for sure. But don't think I've forgotten what brought you here. We'll do whatever we can to help you.
I sure appreciate that, Miss McFarland.
This is you, Mr. Marston. Thank you for your help, Mr. Marston. Makes me kind of happy I saved your life. Get some sleep, and I will see you in the morning.
Good night, Miss McFarland.
There's a big mountain lion down by the river killed another family. My patient's bones. I believe the town of Blackwater would benefit from some kind of parade.
Very useful.
Hello there. That's a nice healthy stride you have, sir. Right, pretty girl.
I think I unlocked all the outfits when I played on the 360. Let's save. It's the file I'm gonna try to keep adding to.
Sir?
So,
Bye now.
so let's get to Armadillo before I call it a stream. I got my house racing.
Oh, Mr.
ahead.
Marston. How are you doing today?
I'm well, Miss McFarland. Thank you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine. Thank you. So, how are your ribs?
Fine. A little sore, but apart from a couple extra scars, it'll be as nothing happened.
Good. Come in, come in. You know, you never did tell me how you met that Bill Williamson or what you wanted from him.
No, miss, I did not.
Well, why not, if you don't mind me asking?
I certainly don't mind you asking if you don't mind me not telling. See, it's a complicated and somewhat pathetic tale, and by telling you, not only would I be putting your life in danger, but also threatening the lives of some people that I hold very dear.
Well, I apologize if I seem to be prying.
And I apologize for my reticence. Hope you believe me when I say that it's simply out of respect for you.
Of course, Mr. Marston. I understand that a city dweller such as yourself likes to have some exotic secrets, so us country folk are impressed.
I'm no city man, miss.
Yeah, but I saw you get on the train at Blackwater. You with those gentlemen in bowler hats?
I'm still no city man.
But I'll bet you can't ride, Mr. Marston.
I hate to take money from a lady, miss.
Oh, you won't be. I'll race you right now.
If it makes you happy.
We'll see. All right, I'll show you how we ride around these parts. Giddy up!
Let's go!
On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, go! I trust you're not gonna be a gentleman about this.
You don't know me at all, Miss McFarland.
See you soon.
Come!
Not about the finish line.
Come on! Would you like me to slow down? I bet you're starting to regret your brave work. Slow down.
Awesome.
Let's go.
Time.
Isn't this jolly?
Yeah, I'm winning.
Watch and learn, miss. Are you saving the best for last? Come on.
This sure beats milk and cake.
Alright, I'm going.
How you doing back there? You're lucky I'm being a gentleman.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Marston!
Yeah.
How those injuries feeling, Mr. Marston?
Should I wait for you to catch up? Go.
Train in the way. Those I didn't screw up. Awesome.
That was fun.
Sure.
You know, you should go pay the marshal a visit in Armadillo sometime. I'm sure he could help you deal with that nice Mr. Williamson.
Yeah, I might just do that, Miss McFarland.
You do whatever you think's best, Mr. Marston.
I think if I do this next mission, I'll have an excuse to be an armadillo, then I'll do at least the first thing for the marshal. I mean, I think we just play for an hour.
Ah, Mr. Marston, how are you?
Good, Miss McFarland. How are you?
I'm well. Would you mind riding with me to Armadillo? I've got to get some supplies and I could do with the company.
Of course.
You can take the reins. It wouldn't do for a terrifying bounty hunter such as yourself to be seen driven around by a woman. Take the reins, Mr. Marston. You're looking much better, considering you were almost buzzard food a couple days ago.
I have you to thank for that, miss.
So do tell me, have you needlessly risked your life since we last spoke?
No, miss, I have not.
Well, that's a relief. Perhaps there's hope for you yet.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Oh, there's always hope, Mr. Marston. You can't be a rancher in this kind of country if you don't believe that.
An admirable attitude, miss.
I suppose so.
Very.
I can't think of any other way to stay sane, to be frank. What about you? Have you ever given up hope altogether?
Hope hasn't really entered into it. It's not really something I think about.
A peculiar outlook. I can't really say I understand you.
I can't always say I do either.
Oh, don't be so deliberately enigmatic.
I'm not, miss.
Yes, you are. You are being deliberately obscure as a substitute for having a personality.
I just know there are two theories to arguing with women, and neither one works.
I'm not even going to dignify that gibberish with a response. I think it's kind of funny I found you dying on the side of the road and now you're driving me into town.
You have a strange sense of humor.
Well, you must admit, it's an unusual start to a friendship.
I didn't realize we were friends, Miss McFarland.
Oh, please. Now who's being funny? Listen, I know that business with Williamson is your business, but I don't know. You've been good to us, and I don't think you're a bad man. A little stupid, perhaps, but not rotten. I just worry about you gallivanting around these parts like you're some kind of deranged bounty hunter. Like Paul always says, don't go waking snakes.
I appreciate your concern for us lesser mortals, Miss McFarland. I really do. And if there was any other way out, I'd take it. I can assure you of that.
How are you today? You never did tell me where you live.
I have a small holding up in Great Plains.
A farmer? Yeah, and I'm the Queen of England. And at what point during your day of hunting down outlaws do you find time to raise chickens?
Only been at it 3 years or so. I guess I'm kind of new to it.
You're telling me? So who's looking after this farm of yours right now?
Uncle. Well, he's not my uncle, as far as I know. Just an old dog who's as lazy as a lizard on a hot day. The kind of fella laboring under the delusion that age brings wisdom.
Sounds like the perfect person to leave in charge of your entire livelihood.
We go way back, and I didn't have a lot of choice.
I'd be getting back there if I was you.
Howdy.
That's what I'm trying to do, miss.
Come on, Mr.
Technically,
Marston.
point
I want to get to
point.
Armadillo before the stores close. How well do you know New
A lot
Austin?
of beautiful
I don't.
scenery.
We talked about coming down here many times, but never made it.
Who's we?
Me and the folks I used to work with. Yeah, New Austin. The last real outlaw country, where the old ways still hold true. Do a man wrong, he'll shoot you for it. Do a man right, well, he still may shoot you for it. But at least you have an idea of what's right and what's wrong there.
Dear, oh dear, Mr. Marston. What dreadful novel did you get that romanticized drivel out of? Those days are long gone, if they were ever here at all. According to Paul, those days were just people shooting each other because they lost at cards. We'll be lucky if our ranch survives another 5 years. Businessmen are the new cowboys.
Hello?
You look like a man who's been through the mill.
Thank you.
I mean, you've lived some life. I'm 27 years old and I have rarely left Hennigan's Stead. Although many years ago we did briefly employ a French governess. Well, I think she was French. She said she was French, but she spoke Russian. That was when Paul thought I would become a lady.
A change of pasture doesn't always make for a fatter calf.
I know, and I wouldn't change my life for all the money in the world. I'm just saying, sometimes I wish I'd been, well, braver. Been to more places, seen more things.
If you ask me, it usually takes more strength to stay than to run, Miss McFarland.
How do you do, sir? I always enjoy a trip to Armadillo.
Sure is a pleasant journey.
It used to be such a nice town before that gang started helling around the place, causing all that trouble, shaking down the local merchants, kidnapping, and worse.
That's what I heard.
It's a terrible shame, if you ask me, and there's not a man with the gravel in his gizzard to stand up to them.
What about the marshal?
Well, he's doing what he can with what he's been given, I suppose. Hello, mister. So this is Armadillo. Manhattan it is not, but it does okay for us. Most important thing for you right now is getting yourself into Dr. Johnson's office to purchase some medicine. The first one's on me.
Thank you, miss. I'll pay you back.
I'm sure you shall. The doc's a good fellow. He saved your life, so be polite to him. Meet me in front of the general store when you're done.
Howdy. I was going to say this town. I'm playing on you. Nothing surprises me no more.
Just check and see if I have the golden guns or not. I think I do. Yes, I think that's when Roger said, yeah, you can buy all the DLC that was pre-launch stuff for $1 each.
The whole town needs my expertise.
How are you, friend?
I got stock of them electric belts if you need to lose weight. I'm buying a Voyage camera to take bon voyage photographs of the park.
And horse stamina 100. Dirty lead doc.
Well, thanks for driving me. It was nice to be able to enjoy the view for once, and a little company never hurts now and again.
You're more than welcome, miss. Least I can do. Thank you for the medicine.
Why don't you have a look around Armadillo? You can always take a stagecoach back to the ranch later.
I might just do that. Travel safely, miss.
Try not to get yourself shot. I won't be around to save you this time.
Like I have any money on me.
How do you do, sir? If this place cleaned up, I'd think about moving on. Now you know I don't listen to that every time. Jeb Murphy don't put his name to a gun he don't.
Dear sir, hello.
There you go.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, if I don't have any money, I need to get some dollar bills first. Maybe work for the marshal, maybe.
Good morning to you, sir. How do you do?
Plurality de Armadillo.
Excuse me.
Hey, hey, you got a visitor.
Shut up, you! And what you want?
My name's John Marston. You wanted to speak to me.
I did?
Apparently so.
Why?
I guess because we're both in the business of the law.
You that fella from the train company?
No, I'm from Fort Mercer.
Fort Mercer? You them one of them Williamson boys?
Calm down.
Go on, shoot him, mister. Shoot him.
Come on, what? You getting cute with me, boy?
What's going on here?
I got me one of them Williamson boys.
I got me one of them idiots who give marshals a bad name.
Jonah, put your gun down. You must be the man from Blackwater.
Yes, sir. Listen, that dog ain't too bright, but he seems loyal.
Jonah, get out of here for a minute.
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson, sir. And you. Oh, I done seen enough of your hide around here, friend.
I think there's some school children down the way you can go and frighten.
Oh, hardy fucking hard.
What are you doing here, Mr. Marston? Apart from frightening my deputies.
I'm here to capture or kill Bill Williamson.
Okay.
Can you help me?
He's outside my jurisdiction. He's in the next county. Of course, Bill Williamson and his boys have tended to keep themselves away from my town.
So you're happy to have him out there?
Well, I ain't happy, but I also ain't suicidal. My job is to keep this town safe, not clean up all of these 3 counties. It's hard enough around here.
You know, I hear you speak, and suddenly I'm reminded of how some of the people I respected most in my life had a problem with authority. What's wrong with you?
Well, I'm sure you and your fine friends have enjoyed spending your time running around pursuing noble causes. My cause is to keep this town from turning into a living hell for the folks who live here. Whole world has problems, mister, and I'm here doing what I can.
Why? What's happening?
Right now, I got the railway, the people who pay my salary, trying to get me to turn a blind eye to them burning down settlements up there. I got a bunch of cattle rustlers out near Box Canyon needs shutting down. Not forgetting the gang that keeps murdering homesteaders out in the back country. And I got a bunch of hoods over in the saloon, drunk, threatening to shoot up the whole town. That's all I got today. But it's early yet. Give me a couple more days. There'll be more.
All right, tell you what. Let's go deal with them hoods in the saloon. Then we'll discuss Williamson.
Okay, boy. You're a persistent little cuss, ain't you?
Only when things matter.
The saloon's this way.
Hello there. So who are we looking for?
Bunch of two-bit hoodlums, led by this fella called Walton. Goddamn road agents who prey on the stages coming in and out of town. Drivers in Armadillo spend more time with their hands in the air than on the reins these days.
And you're happy to let them drink in your saloon?
Happy? No. But the way I figure it, better they're carousing in there than out robbing decent folk.
That's an interesting approach to law enforcement.
Good to see you.
There's the dumb rat bastard now. Let's follow him. See what kind of hole he crawls into.
Mount up, Marston. Walton's our man. God damn it, he's on to us. Get after him. Can't lose that trail, boy. Catch up with me when you can. Now you know I don't listen to that jibber jabber.
Come on!
Yeah!
If Walton's as bad as you say he is, why don't we just beef him now while we got the chance?
Because that ain't how the law works.
Is that right, Marshal?
And alive, he can still talk.
Doesn't sound like he's a man to be reasoned with.
He ain't. But a few days of my hospitality and he'll be telling me what I need to know. Walton's gang's been growing fast.
Outlawing's easy money for easy work.
Cola Springs, Gap Tooth Bridge, these boys get around. Walton's the start, but there's plenty more where he came from. Looks like he's holed up at the old Pleasance house. Let's hold up a minute and find a spot for our horses.
Looks like we got company, boys.
Damn. Take cover. We'll work our way up this hill.
Over here, Pussyfoot!
Take cover behind that wagon to your right.
There's one behind the crate. Take him down. Head for the crate, boy. I'll cover you. Take that fella behind the rock, boy.
I'll put a window in your skull, Walton.
Now get to that rock. I'll shoot you some space.
Damn. There's another one behind the outhouse, boy.
Not bad. You're all dead.
Take cover behind the outhouse. Careful, there may be more of them.
Not a bad shot, Mr. Marston. Why don't you check in with me next time you're in town?
I don't want to be no policeman, Marshal.
Nor did I, my friend. I can promise you that. I'll see you soon, Mr. Marston.
Whoa there!
Hey, got me some money. Nice. Buy that property.
Let's go. Let's go. Sorry, partner.
That's a lot of revolver ammo. Save real quick.
Easy up now. Whoa. I believe you're a bad young liar. You better run! He's coming! Think you're tough, do you? Don't be I wasn't gonna stand by and let them terrorize this town.
Hello.
I could take care of outlaws. Oh boy. Nope. Sorry, horsey. Sorry I shot you, and sorry I'm doing this to you.
What a world! Hi.
establishment welcomes you.
Hello, friend.
You won't find anything Jewish made in this establishment, sir. You know, if Johns is elected governor, he's going to open the rail lines to Allende. Anything else I can do for you? My products are of the finest quality. How do you do? Unless you want to start working for Pepper Guts, you'll keep Johns as far as possible from the governor's mansion. A fine choice.
That's what I want.
That rabbit's foot will help some. Now it starts crawling close.
Son of a bitch! Help! Someone! Suppose not all men are bad. I won't forget what you did here.
Glad to be of service to the oldest profession. What can I say, partner?
It's twice that I've had to stop somebody. Give me about the property. I stopped one man ruffian and stopped another guy from doing God knows what to that lady.
You can believe it or not, but I heard there's a new herd of wild horses.
You're a nice lady and all, but this ain't my thing no more.
You want to spend some time with me?
20 dead or damn near.
Every day.
I seen them. I'm thinking this whole Wild West adventure might have been the wrong decision.
I want to at least buy that property, so.
Next door to the brothel.
Why did how much money I have? Alright. There. Bounty available. Let's do a bounty. Probably a way to capture them alive, though. Yeah, I need to visit Bonnie McFarlane if I want to do that.
We meet again.
I told him I wasn't buying any land until I found a...
You can only drink so much whiskey a day.
Come on!
He's just a boy. I'm a terrible mother. Oh, they took my boy. My boy.
Who did?
He's missing. He's only a youngster. My boy is missing.
Where? Who took him?
Them people in the hills. Them hills near Hanging Rock. They took him.
Can't the police force help you?
Oh, they can't even help themselves. Please, sir. My son is missing. I need your help.
If I find him, I'll bring him back to you.
Wow, up there. Might as well go for that bounty. Those guys from alive, I can get done. Alright. I'm getting shot and killed.
There's much treasure here. You want map? I retire. Here, take map. You earn it.
I'll happily take this off your hands, my friend.
Thank you. Okay, I'll go for it.
What have we got here?
And collect this bounty at all. Take a peek at that treasure map.
Let's go. Whoa there. Where are you, Mo? Right there, partner.
You're dead.
Rest in peace, my friend.
Trying to tell y'all, let me look. There we go. Oh, I'm up here. Yeah, okay.
Come on. Hero shot. Who wants to next? Go.
Found that no good piece of dirt. Thank you.
Where's his hand? Yeah, I'm gonna do that stranger's task here real quick. Where are you, Aussie? Come on, Aussie. Do this.
Easy. Come.
Just gotta get him off. Easy shot.
Easy.
That's promising.
Yeah.
Buy that proper now. I'm lower right here. There we are. Right near the hanging rock. Move this here. Move that there.
Now take a look at that.
A bit by gold. Gold!
For the love of God, help me! You saved my life, mister. Here, please take this. We all have problems, and we must solve them together, or we die alone.
Well, I'm here. I'm a sucker for helping people.
Oh, Lord. This is nasty.
One more coyote here somewhere.
Tough one, ain't you?
treasure map, but if I can kill and skin 5 more of them, then I'll get that done. I think I know where that is. I'm gonna go hunting for it right now. Looks like I know it's here somewhere.
Perfect.
So let's have a challenge too, apparently. Alright. Let's get back into town finally. Rather catch them, but I don't have the lasso, so.
You'll get along fine here, son. Now get gone.
It's all right. Don't mention it.
I ain't use one.
Come on. Sorry about this, partner.
Yeah, whatever, because I did shoot you, so. Well, because I'm being sidetracked long enough. I'm gonna do the stuff I was gonna do.
Come on.
Sounds true, I guess.
You know,
Get some emu. I knocked the lamp over. Oops. That's a bit later in the day.
You was looking good.
Right. Crap.
Slow it down, will you?
what are you doing?
anything in here.
And I got all the armament.
Howdy, mister.
We got the Second Amendment for a reason, don't we?
Sanchez, Allende, DeSanta, Reyes, all the same. They just want Armadillo rail rides. Between pilgrims, scab herders.
Really want that because built El Paso.
I'll buy anything that meets my strict standards. A fine transaction. Howdy. That's a fine deal. You surely won't regret a purchase. I'm thinking that we're mutually beneficial.
That should do it.
The cool bandolier, I love that look too.
Hey, you!
New one.
Cincinnati guy, come over here. Howdy. Hello there. Bye now. Bye. You a tough guy, mister? I hope so. We gonna have a showdown. I don't miss, mister. Bear that in mind.
You're making a big mistake.
It really is. Hope I don't screw this up. Nice. Hey, today with tumbleweed. I love it.
Hello? Hello? It's Armadillo 731. What is it with these things? Hello? It's a new line. Hello? Hello?
Sounds fun. What's happening?
I have no idea. Yeah, if it's important, they'll send someone down like they did with you.
Suddenly, the world is full of theys.
Yeah. I remember when we first got here. We used to consider people from Dade County to be exotic. Now guys can get here from the Midwest, and they can do it in 6 days.
Things have changed.
They've gotten away from me. Hello? I don't understand it no more, boy. Honest to goodness.
I'm not sure I do.
Marshal! 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 I've just been up in the canyon, spying like you said. I think I seen me a couple of them rustlers. I think it was the Ballard twins and a couple of Mexicans.
They up there right now?
Well, it was a group of poor men rounding up Mr. Gulch's livestock, and none of them looked like any of Gulch's hands, so yes, sir, right now.
That sarcasm's most unbecoming, Eli. It's gonna hold you back in life, even worse than your lazy eye. All right, let's go. You ride with us again, Marston?
Will you help me?
I will try.
It'd be my pleasure.
How long you been working for the government, Marston?
I don't work for the government.
Well, I got a telegram from some federal clowns in Blackwater that says otherwise.
Are you some kind of vigilante?
You don't look like no government, boy.
I guess it's complicated. I came because it was made impossible for me not to.
You sure are a tight-lipped son of a bitch, mister.
I guess I am. I ain't gonna dig this hole no deeper.
Ain't you all proud and superior? Don't forget you need us more than we need you. Bill Williamson folded you up like an empty purse the last If I remember correctly.
Simmer down, Jonah.
Listen to your boss, Jonah. There's a good boy. Otherwise, I'll put a hole in your hillbilly head and watch your tiny brain drain out.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you, Marston. I ain't for all this government interference.
Believe me, Marshal, neither am I.
I try to keep the federal boys happy. I mean, we need all the help we can get. But what does a flannel-mouthed city boy who's never forked a bale of hay in his life know about a state like New Austin?
Nothing, I reckon.
All this manifest destiny hogwash, tame in a wild land. Not far now. Eyes open, boys. Ooh, now. All right, leave the horses here and follow me. Let's go. Stay alert, boys. Be ready, boys. We're probably going to be outnumbered.
And those bastards ain't short on firepower neither.
Let's see how many there are. If we can take them alive, good. If not, smoke the sons of bitches.
Music to my ears, Marshal.
I might take a point. Yeah, I'll take points.
Holy shit!
Butler, find some cover. Nice and steady now. Don't leave yourself open. Good shooting, boy. You boys take the left fork. I'm going this way. Marston, you can tag along with me or join the deputies.
Hellfire! Stop falling behind! We gotta push forward!
Come on then, Marston. Just make sure you don't slow me down.
Come on, then!
Back off. There's a couple of the rat bastards. Looks like we got him.
Over here, you
Come on,
blind
next
us
to
over
me.
here. Give it that.
Go home, buddy!
There's our boys on the other side.
That's more people on the left.
There he is. They're still coming. Look here, friend. Get those thieving bastards. Come on, Marston. I can't take them all by myself. Come on, let's clear out that camp. Watch yourself. Looks like they have some backup. Put down your guns and surrender. You got one. Surrender, or I'll kill you all! Looks like there's some ammunition lying about if you need it. I'll meet you up on the ridge.
This is mighty generous of you, mister.
Just grab everything we got.
Let's push it. Watch out. Looks like there's a couple of snipers over there. Look out! There are them snipers! Jesus, well! Come on! Let's get these sons of bitches! Nice shot!
You really want to die?
This way! There's one of them. Let's push on. It sounds like the deputies could use a hand. Look, over there.
I thought we was friends.
Hang in there! Damn fine shooting, boys. Come on, let's regroup.
Don't think you'll be needing this.
This looks as good a spot as any. Gather around and listen up. Let's try to sneak up on them. The closer we are, the less chance they have of making a run for it.
Works for me. It's right there. It's pretty close to a 2-hour stream at this rate.
Come on! Stay close! Watch that! Oh, stay kid! Let's clear out Mike's bases once and for all! I can't take much more of this! Are you kidding? Don't shoot Mr. Colton's cat! You might as well give it up now! Good shooting,
Oh, what the hell are you gonna do, fool?
Hellfire!
You best shoot me now or this is over!
Looks like the bollards won't be rustling again anytime soon. Quick, let's get those hostages free.
Thanks, Marshal. We're indebted to you with our lives.
Just get them cattle back safe.
All right. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Well done, Mr. Marston.
Yes, well done.
Now, about Williamson.
I'll do what I can. You know, as you can see, this country is infested with all manner of scum.
Say that again.
Well, one other thing, Marston. Mr. Johnson, sir. It's Mr. West Dickens. He's missing.
Who?
Mr. West Dickens, the tonics merchant. He was due in town last week.
Oh, the narcotic and bat piss salesman who cons housewives out of their money with promises of eternal youth.
Yes, him, but I think you're being a little unfair. He's helped a great many of the county, and many of the townsfolk are really missing him.
You hear that, Marston? We just butchered a gang of thieves, and the town is up in arms about a missing snake oil merchant. I am so glad to be serving such a wise and respectable people. Come on, Eli.
first stuff, and then I'll be straight and get of myself a place. I got some cash for it, which is nice. Yeah, we ought to get the lasso here since I start capturing people alive, which would be nice. Right here, nice.
Whoa! Slow up.
Mr. Marston, I've been hearing about your plans.
Have you, Miss McFarland?
Yes, from Lee Johnson. To settle here and build a life for yourself.
I'm afraid those aren't my plans. See, I already have a life. Well, I had one, and I'm trying to reclaim it. Or maybe what you could say is that I had two, and I'm trying to end one of them so the other can survive.
You do so love to talk in riddles, Mr. Marston. Do you do that, I wonder, as a substitute for having anything interesting to say?
Probably, Miss McFarland.
Oh, call me Bonnie, you fool. Call me Bonnie.
Miss McFarland, I'm married. I have a son. I had a daughter, but she died. Years before that, I rode in a gang. We robbed banks, trains, held people ransom. We killed people we didn't like. Bill Williamson was in that gang. Now, if I don't capture my former brother in arms, great harm will befall my family. Now, I don't suppose any of this is very interesting to you, but I hope it explains why I wasn't so eager to talk about it.
No, I do understand. I had no idea. You poor man.
Even in this new country, memories don't really fade. My father was an illiterate Scot born on the boat into New York. He never saw his homeland, but to hear him talk about it, you'd imagine he only ever ate haggis and wore a kilt. And he hated the English for what they had done to his great-grandparents that he'd never met. People don't forget. Nothing gets forgiven.
That's true, especially when it comes to money. And you know, even now, after all his labors, my father's debts are still terrible. I worry every day about us losing the ranch. It would kill him.
My father died when I was 8 years old. His eyes were, well, let's just say he was blinded in a bar fight south of Chicago. My mother died during childbirth. She was a prostitute, and he was her, well, I don't know what he was. So I was sent off to an orphanage and ran away and fell in with a gang.
My word. What a difficult life you've lived.
The leader of the gang taught me how to read. Taught me how to see all that was good in the world. He was a great man in a way.
But you killed people.
Sure. And I've suffered for it. And that's the life I left, or tried to leave. Said too much, Bonnie. I'm an uneducated killer, sent here to do all I can do well. Kill a man in cold blood so that another man may do his part to cut crime in an area, and a rich man can be elected governor on the back of these promises.
Civilization is a truly beautiful thing, Mr. Marston. Listen, can you help me?
Well, I can try. What do you need? Money?
No, nothing so complicated. I need an extra hand to take out the herd to pasture.
Sure. Point me in the right direction.
Farmers such as yourself learned how to herd cattle.
Sure, why not?
Thank you for telling me all that back there. It must have been hard for you.
I hope you understand now why I've been playing my cards somewhat close to my chest.
I didn't know you had a wife and child. Then again, I don't think I ever asked. They're lucky to have a man like you.
I ain't so sure about that, but thank you.
Good to see you, Miss McFarland.
Hey, good to see you.
Easy now.
That's it, Steve. I got them.
Whoa!
Yeah!
He's got it.
Whoa!
Nice job, Mr. Marston.
Drive them down the road, Mr. Marston!
Whoa!
Greetings.
Ain't that hard, is it?
This way! We need to take them out to the pasture!
Bueno. You're a rancher now, Marston.
Come on! Come on! Come on!
Good! Now we need to move this entire herd out to the far pasture for grazing!
Yeah!
Squeeze back and forth behind them! Keep them nice and tight!
Move it up! Let's go! Come!
Nail it down. Barney's gonna love this. Watch what
Stay together, you dumb
He's
animals!
just showing off now.
You're not bad with the herd. Ranching might be your true calling, Mr. Marston. Either that, or you were a cow in a past life.
Thank you, Miss McFarland.
I'll see you later. I have work to do back at the ranch.
Come on, Annabelle.
Let's go!
Alright, that's as far as I need to stop for now. So the next thing I need to do is ship it over to YouTube. So let's save. Alright, seems like for the most part it all worked. Yeah. Until next time I play this.